All right. So specifically, what are the reasons why you want to prepare a business plan? First and foremost, you want to assess the viability of your business idea. A lot of ideas are really great when you're thinking about them, but when you start to flesh it out and put it on paper and look at the numbers and look at what it's going to require of your time and your resources and the people that you're going to have to bring together, like Donna just said, you have to build sometimes your own talent pool. Okay, so you have to think about those things, and all of these are going to tell you if an idea is viable or not. And so you go through this actively in the planning process. Another reason you want to do the planning is so that you can plan through each stage of the business. So a business has a cycle. The startup phase is only one phase of the business. The business also goes through a growth phase, it goes through a maturity phase. And so you want to plan for each one of these stages because they have different implications. You may have different staff count at different stages of your business. You might need different financing to go through different phases. And so going through the plan, having the business plan, going through that process, you will talk about these things in advance. So you're not caught off guard by, these different things in your business. The third thing is that you need to know your numbers, and you always have to have these numbers at the tip of your tongue, and at the very least, have them written down somewhere. All right. So if anyone has ever watched Shark Tank, I like Shark Tank. My favorite shark is Mr. Wonderful. And a lot of people don't like Mr. Wonderful because Mr. Wonderful is very blunt and to the point. But one question he always asks persons who are coming into the Shark Tank is, how am I going to get my money back? That is what he is concerned with primarily as an investor. How is he going to get his money? And so, as the person who is starting the business or running the business, you have to be able to say, okay, this is how you're going to get your money back. This is what the profit margins are in this business. So you have to know, what is your cost of goods sold? How much is it going to cost you to make your product? And then how much are you going to make from selling your product? These numbers you have to know. You also have to know, how much is it going to cost you to start your business? How much is it going to cost to run the operation on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis? How much is it going to cost to expand the business into another phase? So these are the numbers that you will learn and become acquainted with as you go through the process of business planning. Fourth, you do the business planning so that you can assess the risks and the obstacles. And there are so many risks and so many obstacles in business. In the Bahamas, currently, one of the greatest obstacles to doing business is simply the cost of utilities. No one knows what the surcharge is going to be at BPL during the summer months. Nobody knows. If somebody knows, please message me in the chat, right? But nobody knows. That is something that it just happens, okay? But as an entrepreneur, you have to know your environment, the environment that you're doing business in. And you have to anticipate that, okay, during the summer months, the surcharge is going to go on. So you know what? I might not know exactly what it's going to be, but I'm going to plan to have that increase in my operational expenses during that time. All right. And the next one is you do the plan so that you stay focused during times of doubt. And this one is especially important because there are going to be times when you're going to ask yourself, why am I doing this? You get to a point, and a lot of people starting out in entrepreneurship, especially locally, they already have a job. They start a business, but they are already working. They already have another job. And the reason they do that is because they have to cover their expenses some way. A business is not going to become profitable until like the second year of operation, right? Or even later on down the line. So you're not able to sometimes take a salary for yourself when you start a business. The first year and a half, the first 2 years, you're not able to take the kind of salary that you need to have in order to sustain yourself. And so you're going to be doing this work, doing this work, doing this work. The money is going to be coming in. You're not going to be getting any money in your pocket. You're going to say, why? Why am I doing this? I'm not making any money from this. Okay? But then you can go back to your business plan, which will tell you, we will be profitable in year 2. And you can say, oh, yes. Okay, now I remember. Yes, I wrote this down. I'm going to be profitable in year 2. Let me continue. Okay. And the final one is you want to do the planning because it's going to be essential when you get to the point of applying for funding. Again, we talked about the Mr. Wonderful scenario. All investors are going to want to know, how am I going to benefit? When am I going to get my money back? How much money can I make personally from investing in you? And these are the questions that you are going to be able to answer once you do your business plan. Okay? So very quickly, I'm going to end with this. These are the parts of the business plan. I always have 7 that I like, and these are my favorite. You may find different adaptations of this where they have up to 9 different areas, but I think that this accurately covers everything. You have an executive summary, you have a company description, products and services, market analysis, business strategy, organizational structure, and financial plan. And I won't go too in depth into what all of these areas pertain to, but essentially what they're going to do is give yourself and other persons who are trying to get an understanding of your business quite an overview of that business. What is it that you do? What is it that you sell? Who is your target market? Who is your competition? What is your unique value proposition that you may have? What is your business strategy? How are you going to connect with your target market? The organizational structure, who is in charge? Investors want to know. Who is the team, right? And what expertise do you have? And finally, which actually is the most important part of the business plan, is the financial plan, which will help you through your startup phase by telling you how much money you need to have for your startup, your operation, your payroll, and all of those good things, all of those other things. So I believe that is where I end. Yes, that is where I end, and I hope that you guys enjoyed and that you have a few questions for me as well.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Very, very enlightening.
No.
Very, I mean, you know, these are things that people have heard before, but oh my God, I don't think we can get enough of hearing these very salient points. They are the basics to business. And when you forget them, you lose